Okay, so welcome to episode 3 of our podcast. Now, sadly, we're going to start off with some sad news. Now, I think we'll start with probably fries, right?
Yeah, Fry's. I'd have to say Fry's. Fry's Electronics has gone out of business.
That's crazy.
Yes, they're probably one of the biggest retailers when it comes to computer stuff. I found out about them a few years ago actually when I started getting into computers.
Yeah, I know. You're the one that started taking me a lot, because you wanted to go see computer parts and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was an amazing store. And back then around 2015, 2016, it was still good. The store was getting full. It had stock.
Yeah.
And you know what? I did see a video on YouTube from some other YouTuber. And he went to go investigate. And he went to a couple of the stores, and they were pretty empty. Like the stock was just not there.
Wait, hold on. So he would walk in there and nothing was on the shelf?
I mean, there was probably one or two things.
Right, but basically it was empty.
Yeah, basically it was empty. It was depressing.
Damn.
And when I went to Vegas last year, I decided to go to the one over there.
Okay.
Because that's where the guy went too. So then I went over there and I walked in and I walked out within 5 minutes because it was just depressing, man. Everything was empty. It was
Damn.
It was 5 workers, only one customer. All I did was just walk in there and buy water, really, and then I went back to my hotel and
crazy.
Went back to playing slots. But yeah, I don't know how it happened. I did watch a couple of videos on it before, but from my understanding, is that supposedly they couldn't pay their suppliers.
Okay, so the gist of it, I don't know, based on not paying your suppliers, I'm assuming they would get the stock and then hopefully they would get rid of it and then pay them off based off that.
Yeah, that's from my understanding that's how they would do their business.
Okay.
Which doesn't seem like a good, it's very unheard of.
I'm assuming it could be a good business if it actually was selling.
Yeah.
I know from when we started going slowly but surely, less and less people I saw there. I think it has to do with online shopping, to be honest, because a lot of you could just buy things off the internet and it's easier than actually going to the place, especially with this whole COVID thing. But even before COVID, there was always this rumor that it was shutting down soon. I remember that. I remember seeing that a lot. I didn't expect it, and it was actually out of nowhere because normally, the way I remember things shutting down, if I see a store shutting down or something like that, usually they have a giant sale just to get rid of the stock, right? Not even that.
No, not even that. It just came unexpected. I woke up to it, and then later on that day, I actually drove to it, or I believe it was the day after I drove to it. I was coming back from LA, and there was a couple blockades around it.
You couldn't enter?
You couldn't enter.
You could go to the parking lot, but you couldn't enter.
You can't even go to the parking lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's just depressing.
Yeah.
Because they had a lot of vintage stuff too. I remember going there, they had vinyl stuff
bro, they even sold porn.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the best part. Yeah, but I was down. When you told me that, I did not believe you. I had to actually look it up, and I was I can't believe it's actually gone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little sad because that's the first place I went to for PC parts. That and Newegg. But Fry's was probably the bigger one that I went to, the one that I constantly went to more.
Yeah, because it was for me it was a shopping center for computers. The parts were there, you could see them. Unlike a Newegg, you go there and you ask to see the part and things like that, and they have displays. But over there they had the parts, and you could actually go there, kind of mix and match. So it was interesting.
And Fry's is a good store because they sold everything. They had movies. It was like another Best Buy, really, but more with computer parts.
Yeah.
Like
a computer section.
Yeah, soldering, just about everything that you needed. And right now, I guess, to me, the biggest store that's close to that, or to me, in my honest opinion, is actually better than it, is a Micro Center.
Well, I mean, Micro Center, to me, that one's a computer store, right?
Completely computer store.
Yeah, well, not completely, because they still have, the cell phone section.
Yeah, of course.
House phone section and, laptops and all that stuff, TV screens. But it's definitely not as big as it was a Fry's, because Fry's had a giant section. We never went there because we were always at the other side of the store looking at the computer parts. But yeah, and that's where I actually bought my first
gaming PC.
Gaming, yeah, my official gaming PC.
Yeah,
quote unquote, because that's what it said on the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, damn, it's so depressing. It was a good store, man.
It was a very good store. Of course, we went to the one in City of Industry.
Yeah.
I went to the one in Anaheim. I went to the one in Vegas. I've driven by the one in San Diego, and I've driven by the one in Burbank as well.
Well, now you can't drive by any of them.
I can't drive by any of them anymore.
Yep.
That sucks, man.
But yeah, that was one of the shutdowns that we saw. The other shutdown that it's kind of disappointing, but we kind of knew it was gonna happen. Man, yeah.
I had high hopes for Anthem, honestly. Anthem next. That's what was gonna be the next. I wouldn't say the next big thing, but it was gonna get fixed. You know, they said
hopefully.
Yeah, they said it was gonna be like Final Fantasy. What was it? 14?
14, where they took it off and then they redid it and then did the MMO stuff and all that stuff. It just came out better.
Yeah. And this seemed like it was going to be the case. You know, they showed some screenshots of new factions. You know, new screenshots of new factions. And yeah, I mean, it just sounded promising. And then suddenly they're like, oh,
never mind.
You know, EA or BioWare
was like, nope.
Ceases development.
Okay, great. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's rewind. Our history with Anthem, right? Mm-hmm. Since we saw the first quote unquote gameplay trailer, right? It looked interesting because we liked playing Destiny, The Division,
of course,
those types of games, right? We liked those looter shooters, basically. We liked those games. This seemed like another looter shooter, but it had the coolest part was the exosuits, the mechs, basically. The fact that you could get into them and there were different types of it. It sounded so awesome. It reminded me of you know how in Division you're still a person, but you had different classes. I was so looking forward to it, and it looked, honestly, when I played it, the movement was so good, but it did not justify the content.
Yeah,
the content was so bad.
Yeah,
it was so cool in the sense of okay, we were flying, right, and then I don't know, we see a giant Titan looking thing that in the distance, and we went to go fight. That was so cool, but then you realize that's it. That's basically it.
Not only that, but some of the quests were a little they felt kind of forced because you couldn't proceed without having someone there. Oh yeah,
because you needed a group. Yeah. For some of them, and not even that. For example, I remember one of the biggest issues was they're call them strikes, I guess, from Destiny. Basically a mission and
expeditions.
Yeah. And to find someone these were hard. They weren't a joke. But you couldn't find anybody playing this game. The matchmaking was so bad.
Yes, it was.
So I don't know. To me, the game was very promising. Going through the water to cool down your jets, and how each one of them what were the classes again? There was one that was a melee one. There was one that was that's the one I used, the tanky big boy with the javelin strikes and stuff.
I believe mine was the Ranger.
The Ranger? Yeah. I don't know. To me, that game had so much potential that got thrown under the bus. And to be honest, the only people you pretty much had to blame on that one, I think, was BioWare. Because they had that whole mentality of we'll make it work.
Yeah, and not only that, I also heard that supposedly after Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect Andromeda, basically after that, they didn't know where they were going to go next when they were developing Anthem. They were just
throwing in ideas
and building as they were going.
So it was kind of throw a mixed bag. They shook up the bag, and hopefully they got something good. Yeah, and honestly, they kind of did. It looked so cool. I don't know, but it's just it's so disappointing. So disappointing.
I think we should just download it and play it just to get through it. Try to burn through it.
One last hurrah.
I'm
so down. I'm down because I feel you know how funny that would be that when the game is dying, everybody decides to play the game. Yeah, and then they're like, "Fuck, well." Now we're not playing. We're not doing any services for this game. No patches and things like that. But yeah,
we should say we play it soon before the servers go down. Play, beat it as fast as we can. Try to take on those because those Titans were hard, man.
Yeah, they were. And oh man, I don't know. It was so cool looking. I remember there was one moment where I was the big guy. I was in the middle of the fight and I just looked around and I just saw people flying around, just taking out all the other things. It just looked so cool. Yeah. Oh man, so depressing. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I was very sad. The story was okay, I guess.
It was okay.
I want to play the rest of it, I guess. Let's see what they had.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is definitely that. Now, there was another shutdown that I didn't really care about.
No, they did. I did try it out. I tried out Google Stadia or Stadia, however you want to say it. I played Immortals Phoenix Rising the demo, and to me it was okay. I mean, I understand it's streaming, but I'm used to seeing like good quality. Like I don't like streaming video games. I guess you could say. I feel like I like seeing 1080p and above. 1440, whatever. And then when you stream, you don't get that. I don't know. It just feels so like blurry to me.
Question: if I remember correctly, you wanted to buy one, right? Did you ever end up buying one?
No.
Okay.
I just had out the free version.
Okay. So I remember Stadia giving a bunch of promises, like 4K, like something about like having a bunch of games, exclusive games, and things like that. Did they ever like fix that problem? Because I knew the graphics wise that they weren't that great.
Honestly, I can't answer for that because I never really followed much on it. Even then, when I only played the trailer, the demo of that game because I don't know, I just want to try it out. I mean, it was just a demo, But other than that, I stopped following anything about Google Stadia after
basically the beginning flop that didn't work out. Yeah. Well, from my understanding, it didn't go past a certain resolution, so they didn't fulfill the promise of that. They didn't fulfill the promise of like some exclusive games, and they didn't. I don't know. To me, it was just
by exclusive. What do you mean? Do you mean like Epic Games exclusive, where like it's timed for a while, or?
Well, yeah. I mean that's considered exclusive, right? In some cases, but it also they put a bunch of like studios that they were supposed to make games specifically for the Stadia.
Yes,
and nothing came up. And I also heard that was also Google's fault because apparently, a lot of people, the way Google was kind of managing Stadia was kind of like how they usually manage their basically their other businesses, right? They didn't think that they needed creative thinkers for game studios and stuff like that. It was really weird. There was this article that was published that was like, it's weird what Google was thinking about Stadia, but honestly, it from the beginning it looked like a mess, and it turned out exactly to be that.
I don't know. It's always difficult to know whether something new from a company is always going to be successful. It's kind of like Disney when they come up with a new type of movie. It never does good.
Well, I beg to differ. Disney movies did pretty good.
No, but when they try something new, like say A Wrinkle in Time, or Tomorrowland,
yeah,
or John Carter,
yeah, you're right.
Except for Tron. Tron was actually really good. Okay. Tron Legacy, I liked the first two, and I hate the fact that just because they didn't make enough money, they couldn't do a sequel. But you know what? It's good because now they're working on a new one.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But anyways, the Stadia thing. I think what's even more sad for me is those studios that got acquired by Stadia. Okay, so in case you don't know, a higher up tweeted, and I want to say it was Phil. He's the one in charge of the Stadia development and all that. I believe he tweeted something along the lines of like, we're doing good. Like you have a promising future. Like you have a job, basically. And then like 2 or 3 days later, they announced that it's shutting down. So for me, the developers like this, to me that would be like super insulting. Like I can't believe you bought us and then like forgot about us. We didn't even develop a game for you. We just got deleted. I don't know. To me, the whole, it just all shitty. What's even worse, I think 100% when Stadia got announced, the number one problem for me was like the fact that you had to buy the game.
Oh, I know. Right?
Like that it wasn't like Netflix where you could like just pay, or like the Game Pass from Xbox. I was like, how does that not make sense? Like, why would you're streaming all these games? Just do a payment plan of a monthly payment plan instead of like having to charge for the game that isn't even yours. Because now that Stadia is gone, you're not going to be able to play that game.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the things that happened to a person. You know that game Savage World or something? Savage World. It was like an explorer.
Yeah,
The
man,
game.
I know what you're talking.
Yeah.
Journey to the Savage Planet or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
What ended up happening with the Journey to the Savage Planet? Am I getting that title correctly?
Yeah, Journey to the Savage Planet.
Okay, yeah. So someone bought that game on Stadia. Again, that's like what, $50-$60?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. So they paid for it, but they're having an issue with the game. There's literally a point they can't progress through because the game crashes. And it has to do with the data file.
Really?
Now, normally you would be able to fix that if you had that game in your file. But because it's Stadia and it's streamed, those files are on a server.
Oh.
So he contacted Microsoft. Not Microsoft, sorry. He contacted the Google and telling me, hey, I have this problem with this game. They're like, okay, we'll contact the people that make the game. Now, at this point, remember, they had all been let go already. So they contact the people that made that game. He says, hey, I had this problem. I'm trying to figure out. He's like, just letting you know, I hope you remind them. And you can use this email and show it to them that the game is not ours anymore. They let us go. It's all Google now. So if they want someone to fix it, they need to go through them. So then he goes and then emails them back and hasn't heard anything since. So he's now stuck in a point that he can't play the game that he bought on Stadia because there's no support for it because they got rid of everybody. So now he's just like, okay. And this is something that we had predicted would happen. Games that don't get supported anymore on Stadia, the person that bought it won't have the access to it. And that was the biggest problem with Stadia to begin with, was the fact that you didn't have control over the data files. You didn't have control in case something bad happened. You were dependent on a server that a company ran. And now we see the consequences of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the whole Stadia situation. I don't know. I was hoping it would be good. I was hoping they would, based on all the feedback that was happening to them, they would learn and be like, okay, let's change the pricing model for games on there. But it never came to be. So they shut it down. Yeah, but that was a sad situation. But yeah.
Down.
Yeah, it sucked. But on a brighter note, I don't know if it was rumored or if someone confirmed it, but I know that PS4 exclusives are making their way to PC.
Yeah, there was a recent leak about that. I myself didn't really, do much research into it, but I mean, seeing as how they started off with Horizon Zero Dawn, even though it had bugs, they've been working, to fix it.
It's really good now.
It's really good now.
It's really good now.
So I mean, who's to stop them from porting more exclusives? And I did read somewhere that they're thinking about porting over, what is it? Uncharted.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big exclusive.
Yeah.
That's interesting. To me, that doesn't seem. I remember there was this whole. Remember where it used to be like all consoles and PCs and like this giant console war basically between the two consoles plus PC and everything. PS4 had a juggernaut of like exclusives. Yeah, like God of War, Spider-Man, right?
The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. I actually don't mind now that I'm using my PC more than my PlayStation 4 because my PlayStation 4 is basically dead. It's on its life support basically. I don't mind these porting, and I think it's great in general for Sony. This is like great strategy because you go, okay, I as a PC player, let's say imagine like I didn't have a PS4, right? I as a PC player finally get to play these games that people were talking about, and I play them and like, oh my god, they're really good. It might incite me to get a PS5 to try to play those games beforehand. But I could wait as well. Either way, they end up getting money from me, so it doesn't matter. But I do see some people that are diehard fans saying no, PC shouldn't get our PlayStation 4 exclusives. I think that's a closed mindset, but
you know what? My mentality on it is a little different. I like competition where there's exclusives, but I think PC should be like the central hub for all games. Like all games come to that, but like say the PS4 has their exclusives, they get ported to PC, and if the Xbox has their exclusive, they still get ported to PC.
I also like competition because it causes companies to do better, right?
Yeah.
I think in this case, because it is a giant. I mean, think about it. Horizon Zero Dawn, what wasn't it like one of the launch titles or one of close to the launch titles of the PS4?
No.
Really? Are you sure? Was it, or was it year 2 of PlayStation 4?
That game came out in 2017, and the PlayStation 4 came out in 2013.
No way.
Yeah.
So the PS4 has been out for this long.
Yes.
Damn, this thing is old. This thing's basically was mainly my full, almost towards the end of my high school, and then. Oh my god, it's really old.
Yeah,
okay, never mind. But that being said, it's still a long time till now. I mean, when did the new port come up for Horizon?
Last year.
Yeah, I mean
towards
that's
towards the end of last year to PC, I believe.
Damn, almost 3 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that I mean to me that's 3 years is more than enough, right? Like all the PlayStation 4 people that have the PlayStation 4 by now should have Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, of course.
If they were interested in
it. I personally, I never played it. I know it's made by Guerrilla Games. You know, they made Killzone, and I like Killzone.
I don't know how you never played this game.
I haven't gone around to playing it just yet. I don't know why. I mean, the last few years for me have been, you know, it's, you know, you work, you juggle life, it's harder. But I am thinking about playing it, but I'm probably going to play it on my PS5 because I like to have consistency where, you know, if I start the franchise on one console, I like to try to just finish it off on
You want trophies is what I'm hearing.
Maybe that too. I wanna keep it on the same system, you know, the same company, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I'll probably play Horizon Zero Dawn with the DLC on the PS5 and then, you know, wait till the second one comes out.
Yeah.
Unlike with the Tomb Raider reboot, I played the first one on Xbox One. And then I played Rise of the Tomb Raider on the PS4, and then I'm playing.
You were console jumping. As
yeah, I was console jumping with that series, and then with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it was a free last month, and I downloaded onto my PS5. So I've literally played that series
literally on every console, right?
Yeah.
On console, but that being said, I think like for me, okay, so like I think back at another exclusive that I already told you I have not beaten yet. Mm-hmm. And I still want to go back and beat it, but there's the Valkyries that are stopping me. God of War, I think everybody should experience that game.
God of War, everybody should experience it.
That game is so good.
You should play it on PS5, the PS5 patch.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
I wish I could. I honestly wish I could, but honestly, that God of War game is so good. It's so good. That's why I think people like that, and then of course, Last of Us, the first one is so good as well. So if that gets ported,
you should beat the second one too.
Sadly I don't have access to it anymore. Yeah, I think PS4 exclusives going to PC. I think timed exclusively being on the PlayStation console, then going to PC, I don't mind. I can see why PC players will be frustrated because they'll see like people playing it already. But if that's the whole thing. And in marketing, that would be like enticing you to get a PlayStation 5 or a console from the PlayStation. So for me, that's perfectly fine. I think that's great. I think another thing we should probably add, right? Because based on time when we recorded this, Bethesda should be completely acquired from Microsoft soon.
See, now with them, look. Bethesda has always been more Microsoft to begin with, regardless, you know? Most of the games have come to PC or even just the Xbox, you know?
Because okay, just so we can clarify, everybody knew that Microsoft had bought Bethesda already.
Yeah.
But it hadn't been completely transitioned just yet. And for it based on the recording, it should probably happen within a few days or a day from today.
Yeah.
Where it completely transfers over.
Yeah.
So that being said, it should be completely over. Do you? Because I know they still have a PlayStation exclusives, right?
They have Deathloop and Tokyo Ghostwire. I believe that's
Ghostwire. Yeah. I'm very curious if what's gonna happen with the Elder Scrolls series, because not only did they take the Elder Scrolls, right? They took Fallout. Right?
Of course.
Not only that, they took Elder Scrolls Online. Like, I thought, okay, maybe the online would be safe. I don't care much for it on a console, because I think all MMOs should be on PC, but whatever. But they took ZeniMax. They took that company that works on those games. And then not only that, they took Wolfenstein. And there was another game that they took. like series that I remember.
They have Prey as well. And
Prey.
I think Dishonored.
Damn.
And you know what else? Doom.
Oh, they took all the Doom games. That's right. Any other future Doom games are all in the hands of.
It develops those games, but I believe Bethesda is the one that's like publishing them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a company that Bethesda owned. They when they bought Bethesda, they bought all those companies. Yeah. So Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not too worried about it. You know, I like playing Bethesda's games on PC, to be honest with you. And maybe it's my preference because I like to be able to mod them or do commands and stuff like that. I don't know. But Bethesda games on PC feel like home. I don't know if that's the best way to put it.
I agree with you.
So I'm not too worried about it. Like if I need to jump between like, you know,
I agree with you.
Xbox and so.
I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you full-heartedly because I think that, for example, Fallout 4 on console was a terrible experience for the first time. I think it got better over time, but the modding is always like glitchy and it's not as profound as it is on PC. Mm-hmm. But you cannot deny there's a lot of people that like their Bethesda games, even on PlayStation. And I remember, I think the Xbox, whatever his name is, I keep forgetting that person that is running Xbox right now.
Phil Spencer? Isn't
Yeah, Spencer. I believe he said or tweeted saying something along the lines that it'll be a case on case basis. Like they'll think about it every time they release a game. Like for example, that new game that's coming out, Starlink from Bethesda. Starfield. Yeah. I believe Starfield is up in the air if it's going to be an exclusive or not. Mm-hmm. The next Elder Scrolls is in the air. So they'll make a choice based on what they think. I think Microsoft should put some games money-wise. It'll be more benefit for them if they make some games exclusives and some not. I think an Elder Scrolls should not, but I think this Starfield should be
exclusive.
Yeah, not that I think as a gamer, but as a company, I think that's what they should do. Sure. Just so that it could be like, now we have exclusives.
Yeah. Doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna get them on PC anyways. When it comes to like Bethesda,
it's true.
You know.
But now let's talk about that PS5. I still don't have one.
You know what? Actually, before we get into that, you know how you said God of War should be experienced?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably in the minority here. I think a lot of people should experience Death Stranding. If you can get through the first 3 chapters, I know it's pretty boring, or it can be boring. You can get through the rest of the game. It is just a phenomenal experience.
But it's already on PC, so it's fine. I agree with you that they should be experienced, but that's not. I don't think that's an exclusive that is going to be transferred, but because it's already.
No, it's already on PC, but it was always planned to come to PC. Yeah, it's just a console exclusive.
It's just a game that you think should be experienced, right? Yeah. I can agree. It's definitely an experience. I think the performances of everybody is really good on that game, and like to even say that when I just didn't even get past the first chapter or the first section, that's crazy. But PS5 still don't have one. Still haven't suffered through Demon Souls. I'm so sad.
You know what? We didn't think clearly for the PS5 because I got the invite to buy off PlayStation directly. And then I believe it gave me the option to get 2 of everything, if I remember correctly. But my time for that was on a Friday, and I saw it when the PS5 was starting to go on sale. I saw it on Best Buy, and I was like, I have to get it right away. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about PlayStation. And when I got it, I went back to PlayStation's website to just get the accessories, and I was like, damn, I could have gotten Brian a PS5.
No,
we would have been playing right now.
There were missteps that happened.
We didn't communicate very well. That's what happened.
But to be honest, if I got that PlayStation, I'd probably sell it. You know how much money you could get right now for it?
I know. I don't use mine that much, but when I first got it, I was playing it a lot. I was playing Spider-Man, Demon Souls, Sackboy, Astro.
There's not a lot of games to play right now, right? I think the only one that actually interests me is Demon Souls, and I'll play the crap out of that game.
Yeah, I beat it twice.
Yeah. And that's by yourself too. Normally, like when we play games, like for example, I remember the first time we played Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, we did multiple playthroughs.
We did.
Yeah, just because it was so good.
Not only that, it's just that we've been playing the Souls series many times over because we played on one console and then they bring it to the next one.
Yeah, because we played it on PS3.
We played Dark Souls and Demon Souls on PlayStation 3.
Right.
But those games we only played them once.
Right.
Well, I at least played them once. Dark Souls 2, we also played it on the PlayStation 3, and we did most of the DLC. I don't think we beat the last one. And then they ported it over to the PS4. The Scholar of the First Sin Edition, which I think is the definitive version of that game.
Right.
We beat everything about it. We beat it like at least twice. And it's also my favorite one. It's the black sheep of the family, but it's my personal favorite.
You like Dark Souls 2, right? That's the one. My baby's always Dark Souls 1.
Yeah. And then Dark Souls 3 came out, and we played the crap out of that too.
Yo. Bloodborne.
And then Bloodborne, of course, I only played Bloodborne once.
I know, I played it
a lot.
At least 12 times. I know for a fact I've beaten it with the same ending at least 10.
Yeah.
With the alternate endings, I think I've beat them twice. But like I said, I've played the crap out of those games. And then, of course, Sekiro and all that.
Sekiro, I haven't played. And, of course, Dark Souls Remastered came out. We did, like, multiple playthroughs on that one as well.
Oh, okay. Well, going back to Demon Souls, the baby, the original, right?
Okay, the original.
The original. Have you had any problems with it, or do you think it ran smoothly?
The original, like the PlayStation 3 one?
The PlayStation 5 one.
Oh, the
remake.
The remake.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the game runs fucking smooth, like very polished and everything.
The reason I asked that in particular is because of one thing that's been happening lately. And the clip that I saw was from Demon Souls. Did you hear about the PlayStation 5 having drift problems with their controllers?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised because it isn't a lot. There aren't a lot of PlayStation 5 controllers that are having this drift problem, but the ones that are, there is an issue that's happening right now that PlayStation is getting sued because of this drift problem. Now, just so if people don't know what a drift problem is, it's when and the Nintendo Switch has the biggest problem of this, but basically is if you move an analog stick and the analog stick, even when you're not touching it, keeps moving in either that direction or a different direction and without your input. That's called drift. The PlayStation 5 doesn't have a lot of problems. The Switch is the one that had the most problems, but the problem with the PlayStation 1 and the reason they're getting sued is because there's no way for you to either get a new controller or to get it fixed. Sorry, let me clarify. You can't get it quote unquote fixed, which means you send it and you pay for it to get sent, but not to get sent back to you, but to get it sent to Sony, and they'll open it and not fix it. They'll just clean it and send it back, and it won't be fixed. And a lot of people, not a lot, a few people, but those people are important because for me, like if I buy a console, I want it to work. And if it doesn't, I mean, it's the same problem I was thinking with the coil problem, right? Like I would hate it if I was the one that bought it and the coil sound was there. Same thing with the controller. If you get a controller and you can only afford that specific controller that comes with the PlayStation and it turns out it doesn't work, that'd be terrible. So bad. I think they need to fix that. I need that to them to be able to either fix it or replace the controller that comes with the default PlayStation. If you buy one separately, I think that one should be fine. Like if it's broken, you can send it back or whatever. But if the one that comes with the PlayStation is broken, I think that should be a free replacement. But again, that's a lawsuit that's happening right now. But anyways, back to our Souls adventures. And it's a good thing that we're talking about our Souls adventures just because of what we're going to talk about afterwards. But our Souls adventures, they were fun. I think all the Souls games were fun. I think it's sad that they announced that they weren't going to be working on another Souls game. I mean, when they announced that Sekiro came out, I believe, right? And that game, did you play it? Yeah, you did, right?
No, I haven't played it yet.
At all?
Not at all.
At all.
I haven't played it yet.
How dare you?
I want to play it. It looks good.
It's hard.
But yeah, but I haven't gotten to it.
It's hard because you remember the transition from Dark Souls to Bloodborne, and we had a problem because we were so used to Dark Souls being a slower game, right? Because it was a lot of dodging or parrying, right? But it was all timing. And usually enemies in that game were really slow. The movement was slower, right? In Bloodborne, we had the problem because we had a transition from that mental...
from the defensive to the offensive.
Right. Like, because the whole, you get hit and you can hit them back and get your health back. Like, that mentality we had to practice and practice. I mean, we didn't get past that first part. with the villagers in that fireplace because we needed to get used to that. Sekiro's like that. You are so used to not blocking. Like for me, I never blocked, right? And in Bloodborne, never. I forget blocking. It was all about shooting. Sekiro, blocking. Learning how to block was the number one thing. Learning, what's it called? Using your items. I don't know. It was so different for me, and so it was really hard. But I really think you should play it. But that brings me to what we saw not that long ago.
The Elden Ring leaked trailer?
Yes. Now, to clarify, it was released saying it was a leaked trailer, but what it was
what I read is that it was actually a trailer, but internally for the people that are there.
Yeah, it was a pre-alpha build. Yeah. Or basically, it was just to show what they've done so far, and to me, it still looked good. Like, still look from the little pixels that I could see. There were some textures on the person and on some of the ground and stuff that looked a little weird. But what I saw was Souls. I saw a lot of Souls references, Souls enemies looking like, right? Like, for me, the one that, like, the mage character, right, had that soul. Yeah. I forgot what it's called. The orbs that surround you that they lock onto a target. Yeah. Like, that spell was used, like, 100%. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. What I saw looked fantastic.
It looked like, to me, it looked like Demon Souls. Well, basically everything put together, pretty much.
What I saw was, it reminded me, I don't know why, the first thing that came to mind was, oh, look, Dark Souls meets Dynasty Warriors. So the whole horseback thing that you saw, like, the fact that you could attack while on it. Of course, I'm not saying Dynasty Warriors was the only one that did that. Yeah. It just, that came to mind almost immediately. I don't know. So far what it looked super interesting. I can't wait to play it. I cannot wait to use the mage character. But it did show other classes, right? I'm not crazy. It showed...
I could have sworn I saw other classes.
There was a rogue, I think. I think it even said, like, rogue. There was a guy that looked like the bandit class with the axe. There was the sorcerer, quote unquote. And I think that was like all the main ones. I don't remember the other ones that I can't come off the top of my head. But there was a horseback scene that you saw, and then like you saw a couple attacks on it. But I don't know. To me, it just looked Souls. I know they said they weren't going to work on another Souls game. I wonder what the Moonlight Greatsword's going to look like in this game. But I don't know. I'm excited. This game, even if it's pre-alpha, it looked like a Souls game. I want to play it. I want to get my hands on it. I hope it's not a PlayStation exclusive. Do you know if it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive?
I don't think so.
Do you think? But it is a next gen exclusive. Do you know?
I'm pretty sure it will be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on all consoles: PS5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC. Of course.
All right, I'll take advantage of the PC part. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. Look cool.
I'm probably gonna get it on console because consistency.
I hate you. You don't play games with me anymore.
Well, you can get them on PlayStation if you want.
Yeah, all right. Let me just get a PlayStation 5 first and see how that goes. But yeah, then the next thing the other leak that came out.
Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch Pro.
Leaks. Yeah, the Pro edition, quote unquote. Couple things that were quote unquote released or leaked, right? Was the screen was going to be bigger. So the black parts on the top and the sides are going to be reduced. So the screen is bigger. The other thing was that apparently it was going to have 4K capabilities when it's docked. And that was basically... Oh, no. And then it was, quote unquote, there was a 7... It was going to be 720p.
720p?
Not anything above. And a lot of people think it's because of power usage. They're trying to save on...
Better battery?
Better battery, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. They already has a smaller battery than most things, like a phone, because it's so tiny compared to other consoles. So, yeah. So, it makes sense. I just... The 4K... I don't know how... How do you go from 720 to 4K?
It's a pretty big jump.
It's a huge jump.
From 720 to 1080?
How though? That's to me, that's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So I'm very curious on how that's going to work. I don't know how real it is, but I mean, the Switch needs an update.
Yeah, it does.
I hope they fix the Joy-Con drift problem too, because I know those are very delicate. But yeah. Those are basically the leaks that I can think of from the top of my head. other than video games, did you watch anything?
Well, WandaVision, the finale. Honestly, the show itself, it's good. Good show. I'm just disappointed about Pietro that he didn't turn out to be the X-Men Quicksilver.
Okay. So before you get into that, let me clarify something.
Okay.
The rumor going around before WandaVision even came out, this, I mean, it was around the time where, like, what's that? The last Spider-Man movie came out. Around that time, this whole WandaVision thing was people were talking about it, right? And they were saying that this and Doctor Strange, the new Doctor Strange movie that's going to be coming out, is supposed to connect the mutant world from Fox and the MCU from, of course, the Marvel movies. Yeah. They were supposed to somehow combine or switch or bring them into the universe, which would make sense, right? There is the Mind Stone, right? Yeah. That Wanda has a lot of connections to, and then Doctor Strange has the whole multiverse thing that he's dealing with. So it makes perfect sense if you're gonna bring characters in. So then there's a certain episode where Wanda's brother comes out, and it's not the exact same Pietro. Actor. Yeah, it's not the exact same Pietro that we remember. It's actually the Quicksilver from the X-Men, the future.
The guy from Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, the newer X-Men, right? The Quicksilver, the actor that plays Quicksilver in those movies is the one that appears in WandaVision, and immediately I in unison, I can imagine all the X-Men people were like, "Oh my god, it's happening! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't believe it!" and everything. And then the last episode, or second to last episode, I think.
No, the last episode.
The last episode, it's like it's not him.
Yeah,
and that was so. To me, you hated it. I loved it.
I was pretty upset.
I thrived in it. It was so good to me. Like a lot of people. Okay, so the problem is fundamentally, I think it was. Great joke. I think for me it's like, oh, fantastic. I think the problem is the fans and their perception of what's going to happen next. So the problem with the whole perception of the fans, or the issue that this perception gives, is a lot of people were hoping this is where it was going to change everything, right? But now they brought in someone that is definitely a character from the X-Men movies. And they confirmed it wasn't an X-Men. So the problem is, it's either they're going to have two people play the same character. Of course, they're never going to bring that character up again, right? They're never going to bring that character up again, right? So if they do bring Quicksilver or those X-Men over, they're never going to meet, right? Yeah. So you're never going to see those two characters meet, but the idea is like, this is either a make it or break it moment, because it's like, are they completely, it leaves you with the question is that, are they completely excluding the X-Men then? Or are they just teasing that maybe they'll bring them, right? So again, it's kind of like, it's left up in the air still, the question. Yeah. But fundamentally, I think the whole show, like the show itself, I thought was okay. I don't think it was amazing. I thought it was okay. I thought it was amazing the first 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes were fantastic. Because there was a mystery. You were asking all these questions, but then it kind of slowly fell apart. But I also like the Malcolm in the Middle. Right? Also, it was pretty good. But yeah, like fundamentally, I think it left a good taste, but there was one big flaw that I still don't get. I don't know why Wanda wasn't punished. Well, of course they can't. She's too strong, right? Yeah. Like if they try to punish her, it's like inevitable. But I think Wanda's gonna punish herself for what she did. I think, fundamentally, hopefully. Because if not, then Wanda's going to look like a complete douche. She literally kept a whole town hostage. And it was fun. I don't know. But I liked what I saw. I like that they brought the FBI agent. What's his name?
Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, I like that they brought him back. I also like the fact they brought that one girl from Thor.
Darcy.
Yeah. They played fantastic. I loved every moment they were on the screen. I think the one that was kind of questionable, in the sense of like I have no idea what's going on with her, was that agent that came back from the snap.
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, because I left me with a bunch of questions. Like, and I think you answered it at one point. That she was the little girl from.
She's the little girl from Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
She's Maria Rambeau's daughter.
Yeah.
Maria Rambeau is Carol Danvers' friend.
Right.
In the Air Force.
Didn't you find it weird that like she had a weird attitude towards
when they mentioned Captain Marvel, and she's like, she kind of like brushed it off.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe because maybe she was supposed to come back at one point and she never came back.
I mean, that makes sense because she was supposed to be here before the whole Thanos, right? Like if anything, something super big was happening, she was supposed to be here, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe she felt betrayed because she left. Remember, because she did leave with she left Earth to go and protect. Yeah. So maybe she felt betrayed. I don't know, but she had powers. I know that for a fact because she had that blue eyes. Unless it was something to do with the whatever that girl's name was, the other witch, the witch that was in the
I got the Harkness.
Yeah. If it had anything to do with that, but I doubt it because
Monica Rambeau's powers are coming through the hex because she went in and out like 3 times.
Right, because her DNA
her DNA was altered between those instances.
But my question is, what's her power? Because it seemed like it was like consuming energy or like
another Captain Marvel. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. It seems like she transferred the energy that Wanda threw at her.
Yeah.
And she was able to consume it. I don't know.
She's able to absorb energy too.
Interesting. I'm very interested on like that perspective, but I don't know. But yeah, that was the last like big thing like show that I was watching. I binged it literally in a day.
Yeah.
Just to catch up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. I want the X-Men, man. I want the X-Men to be in this already.
I want the Fantastic Four to be in it too.
Same. I want to see who. Now that in the MCU there's 2 Human Torches that aren't the Human Torch anymore, which is hilarious. Me and my friend were talking about it, and we are like, it'd be really funny if they did a whole Spider-Man meme. You know, when they point at each other, like all 3, like the new Human Torch, and then Cap, and then what's his name? What is the Michael B. Jordan and
from the other Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but Michael B. Jordan, what was his name in Black Panther?
Killmonger.
Yeah, him, Killmonger, and Captain America just pointing at each other like that'd be hilarious. But
wait, I was the Human Torch. No, wait, I'm the Human Torch.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it would be like a giant sillies, but I don't know. I want new. I'm tired of the old. Right, slowly dying away. Yeah. I want to see Mr. Elastic, whatever his name is.
Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, that's his name? Elastic Man's from DC, that's right. Yeah, can you imagine a new Doctor Doom? Like, that's what I want to see. Like, I want to see a new Doctor Doom. I want to see who would play a new Wolverine, a new Cyclops. Well, we kind of did already with the new cast.
Yeah,
right?
with the new cast.
Yeah, but I don't know. I want to see new. I want to see better X-Men movies, to be honest. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it. I hope this Doctor Strange thing is true. Because Pietro kind of went down the drain with this one. So
yeah, I know. I'm still upset about it.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Quicksilver. Died twice in muscle.
What I want is to see Doctor Doom, because he is a great villain.
I like Doctor Doom. I even liked him in the other Fantastic Four. The original? The one with Cap?
Yeah. The Fantastic Four and then Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. I actually like Doom in that one. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I hope the X-Men get brought in soon. So Spider-Man's coming out soon as well.
December. Spider-Man No Way Home.
I think that's a terrible name. Or whatever. I like the other one called Homewrecker. That was pretty funny. because they had a whole board of like all the names they had, and
Yeah.
Home Record was one of them. It was hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the MC takes us. But anyways, thank you for joining us. This episode might sound different, just so you guys know. Just because we had a couple audio issues, but it was fun. Hopefully by next time we have more things to talk about. See if I have a PlayStation 5. Crossing my fingers, knocking on wood.
You're gonna get your stimulus check and your tax return. You might as well pay slightly more.
No, I'm
at a
not.
Scalper price. I'll help you with that actually.
No, it's a waste of money. I'd rather get it like a tablet. But anyways, bye bye.
All right, see you later.